Have you ever wondered what happens when the strongest hero in the whole world suddenly finds his heart is just too heavy to carry? Well, we're about to find out in a story that shows us where true strength really comes from. So, what does make a hero truly strong? Is it big muscles or magical weapons? To find the answer, we need to listen to a story. It's a story about a famous hero, his really big feelings, and an even bigger friendship that gave him all of his power. Our story starts with a hero named Arjuna. Now, he was a famous prince and an amazing warrior, but the most important thing to know about him was that he was the best friend of the wonderful Lord Krishna. Everyone thought Arjuna was the strongest person alive. Seriously, he could shoot an arrow better than anyone and could face down whole armies without even being scared. But one day, he came home from a very long trip, and he didn't look like a hero at all. He looked completely heartbroken. He couldn't even speak to his older brother, who was so worried about him. And the reason for this deep, deep sadness? His very best friend in the whole wide world, Krishna, had left this world. And for Arjuna, it felt like all the light and all the happiness had gone out with him. And this wasn't just a sad thought in his head. You know, his sadness was so big and so powerful that it took over his entire body. His mouth was dry, his voice was shaky, and tears just kept falling from his eyes. It just goes to show you, even the strongest heroes have feelings that can feel way too big to hold. This made everyone wonder, wait a minute, if Arjuna is so famous for being strong, what happened to all his power? Where did it go? I mean, let's remember, this is the hero who did impossible things. He once won his wife, Draupadi, by shooting an arrow through this tiny little fish target that was spinning around, and he only looked at its reflection in water. He helped build a palace that was basically magic. He even fought and pleased the great Lord Shiva. His adventures were totally legendary. And right here, this is where we learn the big secret of the story, straight from Arjuna himself. He finally tells his brother that his incredible power, the strength that wowed even the heavens, it wasn't just his. It was a gift, and it flowed to him directly from his friend, Krishna. All of a sudden, his famous bow, the Gandiva, and all his powerful arrows, they just felt useless in his hands. He realized that his outer strength, the stuff everyone could see, it didn't mean anything without the love and the friendship of his dearest friend. His real power had always come from his heart. But you know what? Arjuna wasn't the only one who felt this huge loss. When Krishna left, it felt like a light went out for the entire world, and a new kind of darker chapter was starting for everyone. It was sort of like a sunny playground on a rainy day, when all the games stop, or like a colorful storybook that suddenly has no pictures. The world, which had been so full of goodness and fun, just felt empty. The joy was gone. Arjuna's wise older brother, King Yudhishthira, started to notice strange things happening. He saw people becoming more greedy, and they weren't being as truthful with each other. There was more arguing and just more unkindness. He realized a new, more difficult time had started for the world, an age that the old stories call Kali Yuga. So, seeing how much the world was changing and feeling the loss of their friend so deeply, King Yudhishthira and his brothers knew that their time as kings and warriors, well, it was over. It was time for a completely different kind of adventure. And this was their bravest adventure yet. First, they gave their whole kingdom to Arjuna's grandson, so they knew their people would be safe and taken care of. Then, they took off their crowns and their fancy jewels, left their beautiful palace, and just walked away. They decided to go on a journey to find peace inside themselves, instead of looking for power outside. And so, the 5 brothers, Arjuna, King Yudhishthira, and the others, and their wife, Draupadi, and their mother Kunti, they all made one last decision together. They would go on one final journey, not for power or fame, but for something much deeper, a journey inward. And this wasn't a sad ending at all. Actually, it was a beautiful new beginning. They walked in total silence, just letting all the busy, worried thoughts in their minds become calm. They wore simple clothes and didn't even look back at the life they were leaving behind. The only thing they focused on, the only thing that filled their hearts, was the love they had for their friend, Krishna. They walked north, following a very old path that led to a place of deep, deep peace. And they knew they would never come back. You see, their new kingdom wasn't a place you could find on a map. It was the quiet love they carried inside their own hearts. And that is how they found the greatest treasure of all. By letting go of everything the world thought made them strong, their kingdom, their power, their fame, and just holding on to the love in their hearts, they found a kind of peace so deep and so real that nothing could ever take it away. Arjuna's story is such a beautiful reminder for all of us. We often think that strength is something we have to show on the outside, right? But maybe, just maybe, our truest, most unbreakable strength comes from our hearts, from the love we share and the kindness we carry for our friends and family. So it's a good question to ask yourself. Where do you find your true strength? Thanks so much for listening to the story with us.